Woo! Alright, I gotta get things set up. The band is still trying to work a few kinks out of her. So give me 1 second here. I want to go ahead and hop over on this live stream on Spotify and everywhere else. Here we go. Alright, we're recording. Welcome, everybody, to the Bandits Basement Podcast. I'm so happy you've joined me. I've been waiting so long to do this first episode, and I'm extremely excited to get it kicked off. So I got a little tune I want to start us out with, so I hope everybody enjoys it. Yeah. Feel that? Oh my goodness. I absolutely love that tune right there. And I had never heard that song before. The other day my neighbors they were making love in the apartment next door, and that song was playing. And oh man, these walls in this apartment are paper thin. Whoever decided to build my apartment complex back in the day literally was like, they went to the lumber yard. They said, give me the cheapest, shittiest materials you got, because I'm about to build an apartment complex out of all this shitty stuff, all the returns. Give me all the returns. Somebody brought some shitty sheetrock back. Somebody brought a shitty 2x4. Bring it, give me all that shit, all the returns, because I want to build some crisp walls with them. And that's what they did. They put this shit in my apartment, so anytime my neighbors are making love, or they're having a family dinner, or maybe an argument. I know what Stephen and John next door, Stephen, John, and Rebecca, I know what they fight over every evening. Because I sat in the apartment, I can just hear it. I hear it all. But, yeah, dude, so the other day they was making love, and that song was playing, and I was like, damn, that is a fucking nice tune right there. Let me see what it's all about. So you know that app you got on your phone? I can't remember what it's called now. But you can put it up to a song, and the phone will tell you what song it is. So basically I did that. I just took my phone, I put it up against the wall. Rebecca was, getting it. Damn. It is straight getting it outside. Fuck Rebecca. Did you hear that thunder? I think it set somebody's car alarm off. This episode so far sounds like the bandit don't live in too good of a neighborhood. But it's not that bad. But anyways, I took this app, I got the song, and it was called Return of the Mac. And I thought that would be the perfect song to play in my podcast. That's just that baby making music. When you hear baby making music, it's a game changer. Because I don't care, like, you got music you work out to, you got music you listen to on the way to work. You might listen to music about killing somebody because you're upset. You got to go into work, deal with Rebecca. She stinks like ass. She's got an attitude for no reason. She's got 6 kids. This is probably the only career she's ever going to have. So you got to go in and you got to deal with Rebecca. So maybe on the way to work you bump some Ice Cube or NWA straight out of Compton. or some mystical. A lot of people don't know about him. He's got that real heavy hitter music. If you're going out to do murder or something like that, that's probably what you should listen to. You should probably throw some mystical in. I've had those Mondays. I've had those Mondays where I'm on my way to work and I got something weird playing, and my girlfriend's like, "What is this? Is he talking about murdering people?" Oh yeah, baby, he is. He is, because it's Monday and I don't have time to deal with fucking John over here who hasn't washed his ass in a decade. You know. And then you got that music you listen to on a Friday. It's kind of upbeat, that good shit. And then you got Return of the Mac. When you get her in the bedroom, you hit it, and then you get that Return of the Mac on right there, baby, and you just pound them guts. Let's hear it one more time. I gotta switch it. I'm not gonna switch it again for my headphones. Yeah, well, we need to hear it again right here. It just sounds like somebody's about to get fucked. You know what I mean? I love it. I love it. I love it. But welcome everybody to the Bandits Basement. Whoa! Alright, now it's trying to play music through my headphones, so we're going to shut that down. But welcome everybody to the Bandits Basement podcast. I'm so glad you're here. As I said before, I've been waiting to do this podcast for what seems like fucking decades, man. We started putting the thing together back in June. Me and a couple teammates, and I'm real excited it's finally here. We've been preparing. I was up until 2:30 the other morning building these motherfucking shelves and, just getting it all set up. So I'm really excited it's finally here and I get to hang out with you guys and do this podcast. I know there's going to be a lot of people tune in and expect some Joe Rogan shit, but that's not how it's going to happen today. This is the Copenhagen Bandits' first podcast episode. I'm still rookie. I don't know the ins and outs of it. So I got to start this podcast thing the same way that I started comedy. So it's going to be fun. Episode 1, there's probably going to be some trial and error, but I don't give a fuck. It's going to be a great time. And if you hear, most of these comics you watch that do podcasts, they're in a studio in West LA, and they got security outside the door, and nobody's going to ruin the podcast session. Not here in the Bandits Basement, baby. We're in a one-bedroom apartment right outside Joplin, Missouri. If you hear something weird, there may be some domestic violence next door. You might hear the Return of the Mac pops up and they start fucking. It's just going to have to be some extra entertainment for all of us watching the podcast tonight, because you never know. If they decide to serve a search warrant next door, they did that the other night. They was like, "Come out with your hands up." And Gracie woke me up and she's like, "There's people outside. There's police officers. They're asking people to come outside." I said, "Who? It's not me. I'm not selling drugs. The only thing I'm selling is smiles and good comedy. You feel me? That's it. So they can kick my door in. I'll tell them a joke and they can leave." I didn't know, but you never know what's going to happen during the podcast, so everybody just keep in mind that we are in a one-bedroom apartment. But now I'm excited as fuck to be here. I got some fun shit I'm going to start doing. We're going to try to do this podcast every Friday. Maybe every Friday or every other Friday starting out, but it's going to be a lot of fun. I spent all day. I went to the mall today, seen some good friends, and then I came home and busted down a comedy video, which I've yet to edit. So later tonight I'm going to edit that video and I'll post it on Facebook and everything for you guys. But anyways, I got a few things that I'm trying to do with the podcast. We got the Ask the Bandit session. We got all kinds of shit happening. So people ask me questions that you guys submitted. I'm actually going to read through them. I'm going to try a different beer every week, shit like that. And we're just going to have a fucking great time. Yeah, dude, I'm so glad you guys are tuning in to the podcast. For real, it's been. I'm glad to have a place to where I can talk about like whatever I want to talk about. Because I've been banned off Facebook and fucked around so much lately that it's fucking ridiculous. Basically, the only place that I can post anything is YouTube and fucking Twitter and Instagram. That's the only place I don't get in trouble. Facebook is on a straight up strike against the Copenhagen Bandit. And I don't know if it's because Mark fucking, what's his name? Mark, I want to say fucking Wahlberg, but it's not Mark Wahlberg. It's the guy who fucking runs Facebook. He's got a hard on for me. I don't know. He's like a moped enthusiast, or his sister's a fucking tweaker or something like that. So basically, everything I do on Facebook either gets shut down or they fucking block you guys from seeing any of my videos. Um, so my videos views have kind of fallen down, and that's not from people not watching, because I see you guys out there watching them and loving me, and I see you out on the street, and you're always fucking fantastic, beautiful people. Um, but then I get on Facebook and it only has 17,000 views. That's because Facebook is fucking with it. You feel me? So Facebook has been fucking with the videos, but I'm excited to have a podcast to where I can finally be myself, say what I want to, um, and just fucking bullshit with you guys and have a fucking good time. Because that's what it's all about. The reason I do comedy is to make people laugh and have a fucking good time. I'm not out here trying to make hate speech against tweakers. The other day, Facebook banned me, and they said, I don't know, I made this post, and it was, I like my meth cooked like I like my waffles, by a dude with 3 teeth. And I checked into Waffle House. It was just a joke. I've never personally had anyone cook meth for me. But if I was to have somebody cook me some meth, it would definitely be the guy working the grill at the Waffle House. I think he's probably the best candidate at that point. And it's not profiling. I'm not trying to talk bad about the guy. I just feel like he could probably cook up some good meth. I've met some meth heads. I know the persona, and I feel like he could probably cook a batch of some brake fluid heavy hitting Terry's Turbo Crystal robbing change out of grandma's purse, scrap metal fucking methamphetamine. That's just my take on people who cook at the Waffle House. And if you're a fan of mine and you cook at a Waffle House and that offends you, I'm sorry. Maybe I took you wrong, Stephen. Maybe you had maybe you was born with that type 1 gingivitis. Maybe you just got bad teeth. Maybe it runs in the family. You came up on some hard times and now you're flipping eggs at the Waffle House. Completely understandable. But I'd rather take my chances that you could probably cook the best meth on this side of the country. And if they had a competition, have you ever thought about that? Because they got a competition for like the people who grow the best weed. Let's get Turbo fucking Terry together. Let's get Daryl. Let's get Jimmy from down the road with 16 bicycles in his front yard, and let's just have a meth cook-off. The NFL's so worried about views going down. ESPN wants something good to record. They're sick of doing bowling and all this other shit. Let's have a meth cook-off. Let's put it on ESPN and let these dudes get in here and just fucking get the Breaking Bad going. That's just my view on it. I don't even remember where the fuck I was going with that, honestly. I was going somewhere with it, though. But no, Facebook, they keep banning me and they keep fucking me around, but I don't care. We're moving on to Instagram. We've got the podcast going now, so it's a lot of fun. And I'm glad it's finally happening. So, and anybody listening to the podcast or watching on YouTube Live right now, you can also catch the podcast on the Anchor app. Let's see what else. Spotify and Google Podcast. You can check us out on all 3 of those. So if you're driving down the road in the car, you're having the shit. You got that Monday. You're going to work. It's a shitty day. You can listen to the Bandits Basement rolling down the road. If you know, the shift at Waffle House is over and you're in Grandma's back shed cooking up some meth, flip the Bandit on Spotify. Get me on Google Podcasts. Get the Anchor app. It's free. You can listen to me on there. It's going to be a good time. We're going to talk about some crazy shit um, in this podcast, as you can tell so far. So I'm really fucking, lately everybody's been messaging me about the videos and stuff, and I've been trying to pump them out lately, dude. But I've been so busy this fucking last month. What all have I done in November? Let's see, November 9th. I believe it was November 9th. Was it November 9th? No. Maybe. I don't even fucking remember. That's how much shit I've been doing. The Bandit can't remember what day he's been where. So I went to Kansas City and did a show, and Kansas City was fan-fucking-tastic. I'm from Joplin, Missouri, so it's a little town. There's not a bunch of people. There's not shit to do. Joplin, Missouri, you got three things to do. That's meth houses, churches, and casinos. And if you're as good as most women, you can hit them all three in one night. You feel me? That's all you got to do in Joplin, Missouri. I went up to Kansas City, and there was so much to do, and the people were so fucking cool. The only problem I had with Kansas City, honestly, was driving into it. I don't know who the fuck designs highways and overpasses, and I don't even think you'd call these roundabouts. They're more like loop-de-loops. But you need to fucking lay off whatever you're smoking and just get us a straight highway in and out of places. Because I'm not the guy to have many panic attacks. I'm not one of those guys who gets real nervous. I go on stage and talk to 25, 100 people. I don't give a fuck. I'm cool with it. But you get me on a 6-lane highway coming into Kansas City, Missouri, and I'm in the 5th lane over here, and she's talking about your next right. Take the first exit, then hit the loop-de-loop, go around, hit another exit, get on Highway 435, and then take the left exit off of that, hop back on 71, and then across the bridge. Jesus, take the whole fucking car. I'm in a panic. See, I've never driven through big cities like Kansas City. Or whatever, so when I go out of town for comedy shows, that's something that I'm still trying to get used to, is fucking with these highways and the way y'all got them set up, because it's fucking terrible. My girlfriend, she's all like, oh, look at downtown, it's so pretty. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck my GPS is saying, get in the left lane, there's 6 lanes. I said, babe, I'm about to pass the fuck out. I said, I'm nervous. I think I'm full-blown anxiety attack, looking like one of them bitches on the movies who husband left them during the wedding or something, and they're just, I'm breathing heavy. I'm running out of air. Things are getting small. So the drive into Kansas City was not the best for the Bandits. But it is what it is. We had a great fucking show in Kansas City. Shout out to Headlights Bar and Grill. We filled that motherfucker up. I know we had almost 200 people crammed into that bar. So, hell yeah, man. This one girl, she come over to me. And the fans, they was lined up from the moment I got there. Usually I try to do a meet and greet and talk to people before and after the show. And I always meet all kinds of people, crazy, drunk people, people who love me. And I love y'all too for following and watching. It's great. This one girl, she come up to me, dude, she had that titty shirt on. I'm talking about them shirts that just barely crest the nipples. You know what I'm saying? I mean, the boys are just about to pop out. She walked up to me, and she said, oh, I'm so sorry about my shirt. I just can't control my tits today. I said, whip it out, baby. I said, me and Grace, we'll take a look at them. Grace, my girlfriend, I said, pull them out, and we'll check them. We'll check these areolas out. We'll see, what's happening in the shirt. And then I got, old ladies, man. Old ladies are the most fierce when it comes to doing like a meet and greet. Because they'll be like, I want to take a picture with you. And then the next thing you know, they got their ass up against your crotch. and they're all bent over. They got that back bend they learned back in the '60s, and they're just trying to get that picture with the Copenhagen Bandit. And it's fun. I enjoy meeting all the fans. Kansas City was a blast. After Kansas City, we came back. We came back to Joplin. We did a little show here at Fired Up Pizza, and it was fun. We filled it up. I don't think they had enough room in there for all the people who showed up. But that was a fun show. And then we went to Tulsa, and Tulsa was fun. The reason Tulsa was so fun is because I don't know how many people watched my videos back in the day and remember Cole, but is that rain? Jesus, it's raining like fucking crazy. I don't know how many people remember Cole, but Cole, he went down to Tulsa with me, and we had a fucking great time down at the Looney Bin. We ended up doing like an hour and a half, and I was only supposed to do like 45 minutes, but they told me the longer the better. They wanted kind of a longer show, so I ended up knocking out like an hour and a half. And I don't know what it is about Oklahoma. I think it's just the people in Oklahoma are fucking crazy. But I love like Oklahoma crowds, man. I used to do a comedy club in Miami, Oklahoma all the time, and people would come out there, and they would always be fantastic. And that was when I first started, and they didn't even know who I was. And then, I went down to Rocklahoma last year and dropped some acid with some cool people. And that was kind of a life-changing experience. And then when I did the show in Tulsa, everybody wore their Rocklahoma clothes. They had their Rocklahoma hats and their Rocklahoma shirts, and everybody else had their Copenhagen Bandit shirts on. It's just I get so much love from people in Oklahoma that it's fantastic. I love it. I love doing shows in Oklahoma, and just being able to kick it with Oklahoma people. Oklahoma people are different, dude. Have you ever been to an OU game? Can't talk tonight. An OU game, Oklahoma University. Did you see the wagon tip over a couple of weeks ago at halftime? It tipped over because they was going too fast. That's how the whole state of Oklahoma is. If they do something, they do it 110%, and they do it fast. They don't look back. Just like Rocklahoma. Like, let's have a festival with a bunch of bands. Let's make it 5 days the hottest time of year. Okay, no. Fuck you. Rocklahoma tore me up a little bit. I'm going to go this year. I really am, I promise. But Oklahoma people, you're so fucking fun. I wish we could have stayed in Tulsa a little bit longer. But we weren't able to. Is it good? You're going to have to scoot it up more, probably. We got some camera difficulties here. It was next to the jar, yeah. There we go. You got it? Yeah, I'll get up and do it.
I'm so sorry.
Technical difficulties, that's alright. Alright, there we go. Next, there we go. Nope. Alright. Next episode, I'll buy a fucking mount for this camera, baby. Falling off and shit. But no, I was talking about Tulsa. Tulsa was a blast, man. I had a lot of fun down there. And then we came home, and this month I'm kind of taking a break from comedy. I'm still doing open mic nights downtown Joplin. But it's Christmas time. I'm going to try to spend some time with the family and the son. Just kind of kick back and relax. Watch some football and enjoy my motherfucking December. You know what I'm saying? We'll see what else we got. I got some notes on this episode. I had to take notes here because this is all new to me. We talked about it. Dude, Black Friday was today. I've never been Black Friday shopping. My girlfriend drugged me out to fucking Black Friday. Actually, here's what happened. Okay? The girlfriend's friend was at a party. She called my girlfriend up. She said, I need you to do me a favor. I need you to get some of them tampons and bring them to this address. And I was like, okay, whatever. Like, we'll just swing by Walmart and get some tampons. It was Black Friday. There's people trying to fight each other over television sets. And I'm trying to get in this motherfucker to get some tampons for my girlfriend's best friend. Okay, and I don't know how many men out there girlfriend has a best friend, but most of the time in life, the best friend means more than you do. You know what I mean? If I called her up and I was at work and I was like, baby, I got the shits. I shit my pants. I want to need a new set of underwear. She'd be like, sorry, you're just going to have to free ball it for the rest of the day. But if the best friend calls and needs some tampons on Black Friday, load up in the car, baby. We're gonna go fight for them super plus fucking tampons, and I can't fucking. So we go in Walmart and there's this one girl. She's throwing TVs in the basket. Her husband's like, "Come on, Rita," and she's like, "You want me to push the cart?" And they run. She kind of runs my heel over, and I'm like, I'm just in here to get tampons, you know, try to spare me. You know, I kept getting dirty looks because I guess people thought I was trying to interfere with whatever they were buying. Now I'm just in here trying to get some coochie patch, you know, some of that vaginal bleeder, stoppage, that that nasty fucking shit. You ever had a tampon, dude? Put a tampon in a bottle of water. It'll change your life. So anyways, I didn't really do any Black Friday shopping. I just went down to Black Friday and got some tampons for my girl's best friend, and that was absolutely terrible. And Black Friday, I don't know, people are weird, man. Like, it just I mean, I've seen a couple people exchanging some words over. I don't even remember what it was. It was like a video game or something. They was in there mouthing each other. I'm taking this motherfucker home for Jonathan. I don't know who the fuck you are. Whoa, fuck you, bitch. This is my game. And then like dude from Walmart brings in a whole nother cart and everything's cool. But I didn't know how intense Black Friday was until I actually went to get some tampons on Black Friday. We'll see what else we got. Yeah, I got a bunch of messages asking me why the podcast was on YouTube and not Facebook. So basically, the way that I'm going to run this podcast, nothing I do on this podcast is going to be on Facebook. Like I kind of talked about earlier, about how much Facebook is fucking me around and fucking with me and just hiding my stuff from people, which is real unfortunate because, you know, I've got almost 300,000 followers on the Copenhagen Bandit page, and, you know, only 20 to 30,000 of those people are seeing my videos because Facebook wants to be douchebags and they want to block my stuff for my fans seeing it, and that's unfortunate that some people on Facebook don't get to see what I'm posting. Because I'll see these fans out in public or they'll message me on Facebook and they'll be like, why haven't you made a video? What's going on with the Bandit? Where have you been? And I'm like, what are you talking about? I've made 3 videos in the last week. I mean, have you not seen them? You know, what's going on? And they're like, no, I haven't seen your videos. You know, what's going on? You just quit doing comedy? And I'm like, bitch, I'm working a regular fucking day job and I'm writing comedy on a fucking notepad on break. And then I'm coming home and working another 5 hours writing videos and then another 2 hours putting together this podcast on the fly. And you want to ask me if I quit doing comedy. So that kind of brings it into reality of what Facebook is doing to me. Because I know, you don't have 300,000 followers just banging out videos and just fucking videos hitting hard, and then all of a sudden everybody quits watching. As much as Facebook wants us to believe that they run our lives and they do this and do that, no, dude, Facebook is bullshit. And you know what's fucked up? It's the reason it is because when you hear the name Copenhagen Bandit and you see a picture of me, you could have some wild thoughts run through your head. And I don't do the whole politic thing. But they may think that I'm just like some outlaw redneck biker who supports Donald Trump, and then they want to ban my shit, and I'm not even fucking with any of that. I don't ride bikes. I'm a fat ass. I don't ride bicycles neither. I don't support politics. I got a beard. my voice is redneck, you know, not by choice. I just come from such a redneck family that it's ingrained in my fucking DNA. You know, when I came out of the womb, dude, I had a chew in my mouth and a full beer, and I said, "What's up, y'all?" That's how you come out, dude. If you're born in Southwest Missouri and the old mining corner of Missouri, you know they used to mine lead here, and I was born here, and you know I was born and raised with all these fucking tweakers and shit. You know I got family who's tweakers, you know, but it's just when you're born in this area of the United States, you get the kind of voice I have, you know. And I'm not redneck. Y'all see me, I wear regular clothes, you know, I got my own style, you know, I don't wear shit kickers and a fucking cowboy hat and listen to Alan Jackson whine about, you know, losing his dog. And if that's you, you know, go for it. But that's not me. So I think Facebook just has the wrong thought process on what I'm trying to do here. But with the podcast, we can talk about whatever the fuck we want. You know what I'm saying? Let's see. So no, the you know, we're only going to do this podcast on YouTube and the Anchor app and Spotify and Google Podcasts. So if you're listening on YouTube, make sure you share the link to Facebook. Let other people know what's going on. But yeah, this is only something that I'll be doing on YouTube. I posted, let's see, the first thing I'm going to do here is I'm going to go ahead and get some of these sponsors out of the way. Some of these people that, you know, help the podcast get up and running. You know, we, you know, spent a lot of money on getting this thing up off the ground. It's not the best. You know, it's just in the corner of an apartment, but best believe we got some money in her, and we had some, you know, we had some great sponsors and some great people who helped us kind of get things up off the ground. So I want to kind of give them a shout out here real quick. And I don't know how many people out there drive a shit box like I do, but I got a 1998 Mazda Protege. Okay, this bitch wobbles going down the street. You never know what it's gonna do. I could be out grocery shopping and it break down tomorrow. You never know. It's actually broke down twice on me, and somehow it just started back up and kept running. I don't know how that happens. But if you drive a shit box like I do, you know what I mean? If it's breaking down on you all the time and you need somebody to come pick you up off side of the road, you know I got the right people for you right here, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe you're doing good in life and you got that 2019 Chevy Tahoe with your husband's fucking balls deep down in your purse. And you're just driving around town big balling. You know, you go to the mall with 16 shopping bags, spoiled ass wife type. You never know what that 2019 Tahoe is going to do. It may break down, you know what I'm saying? Or maybe you're just a redneck dude who will just whip it off the fucking highway doing 65 and hit a fucking cornfield. And your dumbass just gets stuck. Any of these situations, you can call one person in town. There's one person in town who I highly recommend, and that's H&H Wrecker. So if you find yourself in a field or on the side of the highway, you know, make sure you give these boys at H&H Wrecker a call. You can look them up on Google. They're based down at Carl Junction, so if you're local around the Bandit, make sure you check them out and give them guys a shout. They're good old boys, and they'll pull your car out of just about anything you can basically find yourself in. Let's see, who else we got? Nobody. That was basically it. So, first episode, we got one shout out. That's exciting. I'm glad we get it out there, though. But shout out to H&H Wrecker. If you need them, fucking hit them up. You know what I'm saying? Alright, next thing in the podcast. So we posted this a couple weeks ago. It was called Ask the Bandit. So basically, you can submit your questions to the podcast. You can look us up on Facebook. It's the it's the Bandits Basement Podcast on Facebook. And you can also find the Copenhagen Bandits Podcast on Instagram. Shoot us a message on there or comment below this live video on YouTube and ask the bandit a question, and you may have your chance to have your name, shouted out here on the podcast, and I might answer your question. So let's get into a couple of these questions here real quick. So the first one is Stephanie Wisdom from Sullivan, Missouri. Hey, Bandit, think you could get Peter Puffer Pam to do a skit with you? And where did you come up with her name? I'm surprised she doesn't kill you. No, dude, I've tried, man. I've hit up old Peter Puffer Pam before, and I've been like, we need to go out here and do something funny when he gets you in this video. And she's like, no, I don't think so. But y'all gotta understand, dude, I know y'all love Peter Puffer Pam. I know you guys are always commenting about her, and I got some fantastic news. Peter Puffer Pam is actually gonna have her own episode right here on the podcast and has a guest New Year's Eve. So y'all be checking it out. We're not gonna be here at the normal place, but we're actually going to be at her house doing the podcast. So we're going to have a whole episode with old Peter Puffer Pam, and it's going to be a fucking blast. But as far as Pam doing a skit, no, I don't think it'll ever happen. And the reason being, Pam's just Pam. She works hard. She works in motherfucking 12-hour days. And I don't know how many people have ever worked 12-hour days. But them motherfucking 12s will straight kill a man. And she's been doing that since I was a child. So she's been on that 12-hour game for probably going on 25 years. Probably been on that 12-hour game. And I don't know how many people's ever worked 12-hour shifts. But to do that for 25 years, yeah. Peter Puffer Pam ain't got time to do no comedy skits. She's on that money grind, you know what I'm saying? But no, we'll have an episode with Peter Puffer Pam New Year's Eve, and that's going to be a fun one. And how did Pam get her name? Honestly, I don't know. I think one day I made a video, and I think Pam was in it. There's like a clip of her, and somebody in the comments asked, who is that? And I said, Pam, somebody's asking who you are. And it was Pam that said, call me Peter Puffer Pam. Just tell them my name is Peter Puffin Puffer Pam. You know what I'm saying? I was like, okay. So I commented, that's Aunt Peter Puffer Pam. And bam, all of a sudden people don't even give a fuck about me sometimes. I got people shoot me messages on Facebook and they're like, so where's Peter Puffer Pam at? You don't want to see a video, you just want Peter Puffer Pam, is that all you want from me? I don't blame you. Pam's cool as fuck. And I'm excited to get her on the podcast and do a whole episode with her. We're going to try to get her some Canadian mist on New Year's Eve and get her to chill out, and that'll be a lot of fun. So basically, she kind of came up with that name herself, Stephanie. Alright, next we got Lindsay Wedge from West Kentucky. Why did you start doing comedy? Man, honestly, I really don't. I don't know. I think growing up as a kid, I always knew that I was a funny person. I got kicked out of class a lot because, I would never shut the fuck up. I had a lot of trouble understanding, schoolwork and the teachers anyways. School wasn't my strongest suit. So basically, what I would do to lash out, because, I felt dumber than all the other kids, was I would try to be funny. And all the other kids would be laughing so hard that the teacher basically couldn't even teach class anymore. Because I would have this whole 5th grade class just fucking rolling. And, I knew I was doing really good whenever I could get the teacher laughing to where she couldn't even tell me to leave the classroom. Or she was laughing while she was trying to tell me to leave. I think it was early stages in life I realized that I had like something special that could make people laugh. I don't think I'm the best at it or nothing like that. I always feel like I've had that knack to get people to laugh and make their day better. As I grow older, I'd start going to high school parties and people would think I was funny. And then I became a fireman. I went to the fire academy for a couple years. And as a fireman, I was always fucking making the guys laugh. I mean, you work, you do a 24-hour shift in a building with 5 guys. You never know what's going to go down. And as a fireman and EMT, I would always make the guys laugh. And then when I was in high school, we'll kind of backtrack again. I did these stupid videos where I would like review chew. I don't know, like how girls like review shoes or or purses or some shit online nowadays. Well, when I was younger in high school, I used to review Chew, um, and my name was the Copenhagen Bandit. So when I started doing comedy, I think it was late 2017. No, it was about the middle of 2017. I started doing comedy, and when I started doing it, everybody was like, "Oh shit, there's the Copenhagen Bandit. There he is," and the name just kind of stuck. Um, and yeah, so doing comedy just it kind of came natural to me. And one day I picked up a camera. I don't even know why. Early, that was like I said, it was middle of 2017. I just picked up a camera one day and started recording myself. And I was like, "Fuck it, I want to try to do this. I don't know if it'll be funny." And of course I've seen other guys doing it on Facebook and YouTube. I mean, of course I've seen fucking, Amari King, fucking Catfish Cooley, you know. I grew up like in junior high and high school watching Amari King and people like that. So I knew that there was people out here who did this type of thing, but never in my life did I ever think that I would be in the position I am nowadays of doing videos online and doing comedy shows, in huge fucking cities and people coming out to see me. So, the comedy, man, it was just a coincidence. It was just a lucky shot. They say everything happens for a reason. Whatever the reason was, I picked the phone up and started telling jokes. I don't know, but I'm glad I did. So that's basically just kind of the way it started. Next question, we got Chris from Holdenville, Oklahoma. One of them Oklahoman motherfuckers right here. He's probably got a crazy ass question. Hey, Bandit, what was the last item you had stolen by a tweaker, and how did you know it was a tweaker who stole it? Much love, Chris. Well, man, dude, I've had a lot of shit stolen by tweakers. Honestly, I grew up in Joplin, Missouri. So when I was a young kid, I had like 4 or 5 bicycles stolen because I grew up kind of not. I don't. In the early days, I would say between ages like 3 and 6. I grew up on kind of the bad part of Joplin, so I had a lot of bicycles stolen. But the most recent thing was probably I used to live in these apartments off Main Street in a little town, a little suburb of Joplin. It was called Webb City, and I used to live on Main Street there in a loft apartment. So like all of our apartments were above. There was like businesses, right? And the apartment was up there, and you could look out my window and kind of see over the parking lot, and you could see what people were doing down there. Well, one day I just happened to look out the window, and I had this nice big fluffy race car jacket that I'd gotten from a race car shop. Because my dad, he raced dirt cars for a long time, and it's something I love. So I had this jacket from this Hoffman race cars. They build dirt cars. So I had this big cool jacket, and I loved it, man. I used to work at the airport, and I don't know how many people has ever stood on a runway at an airport in the middle of December when it's fucking 0 degrees outside, but it's cold as fuck. So basically, I used this jacket at work. And I looked out the window one day, and I seen a tweaker walking down the road in my Hoffman fucking race car jacket. So I left the doors unlocked in the shit box, basically. And this fucking dude is just fucking walking around town in my jacket. And I ran down there because I was going to stop him, I was going to fucking rip it off of him. And like I was hoping when I got down there, he would realize who the fuck I was. But by the time I got down there, he was already gone. Man, I don't know if he hopped in a car or a bicycle or something like that. But the dude got away with my jacket. So I think that's the last thing I probably ever got stolen by a tweaker. Who else we got right here? Sharon, and it says no location. I guess we don't know where you're at, Sharon. Or Shannon. Shannon. Let's see what her question is. What's your favorite tweaker story? Man, my favorite tweaker story, like of all time, like when it comes to just straight up crackheads, my favorite story of all time would probably be, like I said, I grew up as a kid in a rougher neighborhood in Joplin. And there was this guy who used to drive around in this 1989 Winnebago. And, he was a real fucking creepy dude. And he had this friend who only had one leg. And have you ever seen one of those things they have? It's like a bike, but you can put your nub on it and you can kind of walk with the other leg. Is it good? Is it still recording?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I don't know. Have they been able to see it? Technical errors. Hey, it's episode 1. This shit's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? That's just how it is. Can you get it? Next episode, I'm gonna get. I promise. Next episode, I'm gonna get a little stand here to make this work out a little better, so you guys can see me. All right, there we go. That's a little better. What was it staring at earlier? Could it even see my face? Well, who knows? It's episode 1, so. Anyways, like I said, yeah, Jimmy. He's definitely one of my favorites. Let's see what else we got. What other questions we got? I think I'm gonna take a shot here. It's something I want to do on every episode of the podcast is try a new alcohol. So if anybody has a fucking suggestion to beer or liquor or whatever it may be, hit me up and let me know what the fuck I need to be drinking. Right here we got some of that Loco Nut from Captain Morgan. This shit's pretty good. Tastes like fucking milk. Oh yeah. It's good stuff there. Straight from the Bandits basement, baby. I hope you guys were able to see me for like the last 40 minutes. I know the cameras were kind of having some trouble with it standing up. But hey man, it's episode 1, so no biggie. We'll get the kinks worked out and we'll be better off next episode. So let's see what other questions we got from Ask the Bandit. Let's see. Bandit, what's your favorite beer? From Michael in Lafayette, Georgia. Man, I don't know. I really don't have a favorite beer. When I was in Kansas City, I went to the Boulevard Brewing Company, and it was pretty damn good. I enjoyed it. So every once in a while, I'll buy a little bit of Boulevard and kind of sip on it. I really don't have a favorite beer, though. I'm just a beer guy. I like different beers. I can't really stick with one, one specific beer. All right, what else do we got here? David from Manchester, New Hampshire. Hey, Bandit, was it really your first time in Dollar Tree? No, it was. I had been in a Dollar Tree before, but I was like younger. I don't know. I was probably like 14, 15 years old the first time I ever been to a Dollar Tree. And this time when I made that video about the Dollar Tree, it was actually like my first time in a long time. Because I didn't know. I thought Dollar Tree sold some, just some stupid shit, that you don't need. You just go in there and get some everyday bullshit for $1. No, that's not how Dollar Tree's rolling. You know what I'm saying? Dollar Tree, you can go in there and get a fucking bag of fucking M&Ms for $1. I walk out of Dollar Tree fucked up, dude. I'll have a fucking thing of chocolate-covered cherries. I got gobstoppers. I've got a bag of fucking popcorn. I've got a 6-liter of fucking Coca-Cola. But it's not called Coca-Cola. It's called fucking just cola with a fucking spelled with a Z because it's $1. It's just weird shit. Dollar Tree. It's an amazing place. If you haven't been to a Dollar Tree, you need to take your ass down to the closest one now. Because it's a fucking life-changing experience. I mean, fuck, when you can go in there and buy fucking 5 hamburgers for $1, all you gotta do is pop these bitches in the microwave, that's a fucking steal right there. That's a deal, dude. That's a fucking deal. That's what we call a deal in Southwest Missouri. I think that's all the questions for today. Let me see. Let me make sure there's no more. I think that's it. That's all the questions we had for this episode 1. So if you guys have any questions, like I said, make sure you message us on Facebook or Instagram or comment on this live video here on YouTube. Just you can find us at the Bandits Basement Podcast on Facebook You can also find us on Instagram. So we got an account set up on both. So let me see what we got here. I think that's it, man. That's all the notes I had. I think I talked about everything, just about everything I wanted to in episode 1, man. I'm glad it went good. It went great, honestly. I hope you guys like the setup here. This is where I'm going to be doing the podcast on Fridays. Make sure you guys look out for the episode next Friday because I want to be back with episode number 2 next Friday, and it's going to be a blast. Hopefully we can figure out how the fuck to get the camera to stay where it's at and not fall off 4 times, you know what I mean? But thank you guys for tuning into the podcast. I want to go ahead and get out of here. It's the Bandits Basement, and thank you guys for listening. Okay. No, I had to go ahead and cut it out on the audio on Spotify and stuff because it was actually running out. Let me take a look here. Yeah, I think it may be running dead. I don't know. We're working all the kinks out of this bad boy still. It's only episode 1. We got cameras falling off, shit beeping. I don't know what the fuck's beeping, but that's that's just part of doing something new. But no, I think I want to get out of here. Honestly, I think I want to wrap it up. I do appreciate everybody watching and listening and tuning in, and I'll see you guys next Friday with episode number 2. I got some videos coming out this weekend. I think they're going to be absolutely hilarious. And thank you guys for sticking out this last hour with me. It's exciting. I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad to keep doing this in the future. So thank you, everybody. It's Copenhagen Bandit. I'm going to get up and shut this camera off. It's going to look awkward, but it'll be all right because it's episode 1. I'll see you guys later. And thank you for, like I said, thank you for tuning in. I want to get out of here. Peace out.